Joining us now is a compelling storyteller who is using her words and her book to send an uplifting message to all of us. The book is called Without One Word Spoken, and the author joins us this evening. Ellen Schwartz, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Tell us all about your personal story, the one that really prompted this book.
Well, the personal story is, I would say, my inspiration for the story, and that's our son, Jacob Schwartz. He was born with a rare neurodegenerative disease that attacks the central nervous system. So we were told he wouldn't be able to walk or talk or see, would lose his ability to eat and breathe, and would die by the age of 5. So I'm very happy to say he's now 19. Although extremely handicapped in so many ways, he just has this incredible spirit and incredible love of life. And he's so positive, and he is such a beautiful person. And he's taught me so many lessons about living. And this book is inspired by him, and each chapter is a lesson on how to live life when your life can be falling around all around you.
Now, there are 18 chapters, so 18 lessons.
Yes.
Now, I'd like you to go through some of them. The one I love is setting aside a time in the day, carving out a pocket called worry time.
Yes.
So you do the worrying for the 15 minutes or whatever you've allotted, and then you say, okay, that's done for today, and you move on with a positive outlook. Wouldn't we all love to do that?
Well, and it really reminded me of that scene in broadcast news where the producer, she unplugs her phone every morning when she wakes up after she's got dressed, unplugs her phone, has a good cry, says, okay, now plugs everything back in and let's get on with the day.
Yeah, it's so true. I found I was worrying all the time, and it just would not leave me. And I think most of us are worriers when we have something and it's pounding on us constantly. It's very hard to get rid of that. So I did that. I go in the shower and I worry and I cry and I do whatever I need to do. At least I'm clean. I get out.
Washes away the tears.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Right after, if I have to make that phone call, I make that phone call. If I have to write something down, I write something down. If I need to do something right away, I get it done so the worry's gone. And that way I just take it out of my worry. And if it's out of control, there's nothing I can do about it. I worry about it later when I can.
I mean, some of these lessons are for anybody.
Well, that's the idea.
Whether you have a stressful job or you have a life-changing situation like you do, or whatever it may be. How tough is it to do that?
To do the worry time, you mean? Or
yes,
It's practice. You have to do it every day. But it's amazing to see sometimes those worries just seem to disappear. It's all about perspective. The whole book is all about perspective, right? We have control of only one thing, and that is our mind, which controls our behavior, and everything else is out of control. So if we can just worry about how we act and how we react, then we're ahead of the game.
So give us some of the key messages, and some of them are Jacob's.
They're all Jacob's. But, I look at him and he struggles so greatly. He has such trouble getting a breath out. But his perspective is just so incredible. Imagine not being able to see or move or speak or do anything. Would you be smiling? I know I wouldn't.
No.
And he smiles almost all day long. He is so happy and so grateful for everything. One of the key messages I call the Jake Challenge, and it's a moral compass. And I brought one. It's a bracelet, and I'm going to give it to you today. You can order it on jacobsladder.ca. But it's a moral compass to take the Jake Challenge, because when Jake turned 15, I just couldn't believe he was still here. And I was so grateful he's still here. But I was like, what makes you tick? Like, how do you do it? And I came up with 3 rules that he follows. And his 3 rules are: he's so positive, he appreciates everything around him, and he lives in the moment. He literally does. So a bunch of my friends and I designed this bracelet, and it's called the Jake Challenge. And every time you're not following those rules, you turn the shiny bead away from your heart. And the idea is to try to constantly bring those rules back into your life. It's we love it, and it's a gift I'd love to give to you to try, and you try to take the Jake challenge.
Oh. Well, thank you. I think that these messages lead to a more fulfilling life for all of us. I think sometimes we get caught up and we just forget how lucky we are. It's sort of first world problems.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
How do you communicate with Jacob? You said he can't speak, he can't see.
Well, for us, he hears everything and he feels. So for us, it's communication, it's touch. Music is a huge part of our life. So every Sunday we have concerts at our house for Jakey. We go to his school and we do concerts. We're forever playing music because that's a language that we do all understand. So we watch The Voice every Monday and Tuesday night with him, and he doesn't need a chair to turn around, but he's very picky. He's the best judge there is. So music is a huge part of how we communicate.
You must feel that he feels your love.
Oh, completely. If you go on jacobsladder.ca, there's some videos that you can watch, and you can see how he reacts, and it is magical.
So when you have your worry moment, when you go into the shower, do you? I would think it's something you want to keep away from him, right? From him realizing that you worry. Does he know? Does he understand the impact that your concern about him and his future has on you?
Well, I think all parents are worriers,
Oh, yeah.
right? And I think our kids know we do worry about them, and that's actually a beautiful thing, knowing that somebody loves you so much and cares so much about you and worries about you. So there's really not much I keep from Jacob. We talk about him all the time. He knows how much he's loved, and he knows that we're worried about him, and I think that's a good thing.
So for people who are undergoing struggles and are finding that they're just weighed down with it, you're basically saying there is a way out. So give us some tips.
Well, I don't think there's a way out. I think there's coping techniques that can really help you and put your head in a better game and in a better
mindset.
Exactly. So these tricks that we've talked about today, worrying time, for me, one thing that really helps is to give to others. That really helped me. I find when I'm at my lowest, I love to bake. So, and I make bread, I make cookies.
We're here every week.
I put a lot of love into my baking, and it's with everything you're not supposed to have: white flour, lots of sugar, lots of honey, right?
Yum, chocolate.
So, yeah. So I give away my baking, and for me, that just feels so good. I'm taking all my energy and I'm putting it towards someone else and something else, and there's nothing that feels better than that. So that's helped me a lot when life gets really hard.
You say that this book is written for those facing their own personal struggles, but it seems like it's got great advice for everybody.
I hope so. I think so. We shall see. But anyone who's read it so far, they've told me it really helped them. And a bunch of people are keeping it by their bedside because it's very easy, the way it's set out, to just open up to any chapter. You don't have to read it from front to back. You can read it slowly. But there's strategies at the end of every single chapter of how to cope and how you can get to this place.
So the book is out, and it is available at jacobsladder.ca, at amazon.ca, and at mastermindtoys.com.
Yes.
So highly recommended, because we all need a little help getting through stress.
We sure do, and I'll be sure to be reading it too.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Alan.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
This is What She Said on The Jewel. Stay with us.
She might just